Today we'll take a look at impact analysis using Lattix Architect. With Lattix Architect, when you make a change in any element of the code, you can trace the complete impact of it. In other words, not just the direct impact, but also the indirect impact traced through all the way to transitive closure. In addition, you can look at changes to multiple elements. And you'll see why all this is so useful in the context of individual development, which will help you identify what to test before you check things in, as well as group development, where you can understand what you need to test at the end of every build. So we're looking at Lattix Architect, and we're looking at a DSM, which is organized to reflect the layered structure here. And there are applications at the top, and there is framework at the bottom. And we'll take a look at our application at the very highest level, task controller. And let's go inside the task controller, and we'll go to the implementation directory. And let's go to a source file, tc_client_c.cpp. And inside it, there's a namespace. So we'll step inside the namespace. And inside that namespace, we'll look at a class. And let's just select a single method. And I'll mark that method as changed. So I've just tagged a method called init inside a class, which is inside a namespace, which is inside a file. So I've just tagged a single element. And I've also, let's take a look at this file. It's process package_c.h, so it's a header file. And it's got a namespace too, and inside the namespace is a class. And if I expand this class, you'll see many data members as well as methods. And what I've done already is I have tagged the entire class. So here is an example of tagging a whole group of elements by just choosing a level in the hierarchy. So I have a number of elements tagged at this point, a method in TC client, and a number of data members, methods, class itself, which has been tagged. Now I can do an impact report on it. So let's go to reports, select impact report, and as source we can choose any level of the hierarchy, but I'm going to choose my change tag. And we're going to do transitive closure because we want to see all the entire dependency chain, which will give me the direct and the indirectly affected elements. And we also want to see all the methods, all the data members. So we want to see it in complete detail. So I'll do show members. And now all I have to do is say OK. And I have just produced a report. And already you can see it's 8 levels deep. So the first level is the direct things that are affected by it. So let's just directly take a look at that report. So let's go to view report. And now we're looking at the class that we marked as changed and everything that's affected by it. And you can go down, and in fact if you go further down, you'll notice that the change actually travels downwards, which is something we don't want. But here it is, that init method that I had tagged is actually being called from the framework. And then we can go down to the impact report level 2 all the way down to 8. And so if I go down to 8, you can actually see that we now have a complete list of everything that would be affected by it, by the changes that we made. And what's so useful about this is that as developers, when we have a requirement, we change a number of methods, a number of files, we can look at its impact. But also as a team, when all of us are making changes and we're going from build to build, we can actually look at everything that's changed. And based on the things that are changed, we can then do an impact analysis. And Lattix Architect, along with Lattix Web, will let you do all that instantaneously.